made this happen, girl.
Hey.
So excited, so excited. So we are, we call ourselves the Qurled Queens. And tonight we are going to have, this is our first Facebook Live. And we're having a real conversation about our natural hair journeys in and out of the workplace, and talk a little bit about our experiences and what that means to us and how it's impacted America. This is for Black History Month, but let's be real that since we brown girls, Black history is every day. We don't have the luxury of just like pointing to one little point in time or a month or whatever and say, this is what we're going to focus on, because we're focusing on it every day of the year, right? It's just our life. It's just what we do. So my name is Audrey Dendy Hightower. I am a program manager working in corporate during the daytime, but I also have another business for professional speaking and executive coaching called You Unlimited. And so these two ladies here that I'm talking with today, Karen Sims from Twisted Threads and Nikita from Tilted Halo. Listen, y'all, we know each other, okay?
Uno poquito.
We know each other. We know, we know our kids. We know our family. So we've sung together on choirs. We've talked. We will be having this conversation anyway.
Listen here, you already know me. I got an alto, a soprano, and a tenor. It could go down at any given moment. Watch out.
Whatever you need. Whatever is needed, I promise.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to go to Nikita and let Nikita introduce herself and talk a little bit about her brand and what she's all about. Go on, Tilted Halo.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? I'm Tilted Halo. Most of you know me as Nikita Hansford. I am a strong Black woman.
Yeah.
And to add to that, I am one who has been empowered by my faith in Jesus Christ. That's what Tilted Halo is all about. My current activity is I'm actually hosting my own radio show on Red Ink Radio Live. And I also engage in worship retreats with young women, because young women haven't always been my heart. I also host. I'm currently working as an assistant to one of New Jersey's own Black female history makers at Monique's Comedy Club in Paterson, New Jersey. And most of all, I'm just for the joy. I'm just for the love. I'm just for the encouragement. I'm seriously about that life. And most importantly, I'm about the journey of self-love and supporting that journey, supporting my sisters through that journey, especially as it relates to embracing their naturality. Not to hog up the time, but I've been natural since it became a trend. And we will get more into that as we move this discussion forward. As I said, I don't want to delay the hour. I want to go ahead and pass the microphone to my sister, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads.
Hello, hello, hello. We've already been saying Karen Sims. Excited about the opportunity to chat with you all today. I'm the owner and master life coach for Twisted Threads. And so in part of my mission is to get us right with goal setting and vision casting. My day job, I'm a director at in higher education. And so been doing that for about 20 years now. And so we've got a lot of stories to tell about the boardrooms that I've been in, and kind of the hair code switching is what we're going to kind of
yes,
because sometimes we got to do it. We've heard about code switching with our language, but sometimes our hair goes before us and doesn't always have the explanation. It may cause us to be misunderstood. So I'm excited to be here, excited to participate. I've got my own YouTube channel where we share inspiration for men, women, everybody breathing, because we need to be doing things in the earth. And so excited to be a part of this conversation. I mentioned earlier, you know, we're excited to be here with the Qurled Queens. If you missed us being Black today, fear not, we'll be Black tomorrow.
And the day after that.
That arch right there.
I love it. So that's a good one. Nikita, how long have you been natural? You said before it was popular, but how long has that been?
Well, how old is Linnea right now? She's about to be. I made the
Well grown.
Right, she well grown. I've made my leap into naturality when Linnea was 4 years old. So that would put me in a natural hair lifestyle for about 22 years now.
Wow.
Yes, 22 years I have been natural, and I know all about that hair code switch that you just spoke about, Karen, because that's what led me into my journey of rocking various protective styles. My experience professionally has basically given me the experience of only being the only brown girl in the room. And I'm trying to tell you, some of the comments I've heard over the course of my natural life have been like, really, you just fixed your mouth to say that to me? I mean, I legitimately had someone once walk up to my desk in conversation, and I knew she didn't mean any harm by it.
Don't touch it. You cannot touch it. Don't say it.
Huh? No, because I don't let people pet me. I'm not I'm not Fido, I'm not Fifi, none of them. But what she said to me was, Nikita, you're so pretty, and I know you don't like wearing your hair like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been speechless at the same time, so this is quite interesting to be.
Yes, and at that point in time, I was the only chocolate drop on the administrative staff at a special education high school. And what she didn't know was Jill Scott was the reason why, okay? I was just going through the Essence magazine one day, and I saw this pretty Black girl with these beautiful high cheekbones, and her hair was natural, and it was curly, and she was gorgeous. So I looked at my cheekbones and compared my facial structure to hers, and I was like, wait a minute. If she's rocking it and she's stunning, that means I can too.
Right.
So what I did was I went, got the scissors, got my bathroom mirror, and at the time my hair was relaxed. I cut all of the relaxer out of my hair that day and took a trip to Harlem 125th Street and got my hair braided.
Wow. Karen, how long have you been natural?
You know, it's been probably a little bit around 1 decade, so about 10 years, might be 7 to 10 if I'm counting right. And it's interesting because, of course, growing up, we had the Jerry curl, we had the braids. I had my hair relaxed because that was the thing that you did at that particular time. It wasn't a code switching at that time. It was just like, everybody get their hair relaxed. This is what you do. And interestingly enough, I found myself in a relationship where I felt like I had lost myself. So I did the protective styles. I had wigs, probably 10 years. Nobody ever saw my real hair at all. Like, you're not gonna see my hair at all. It was always under something. And so we just had a different type of crown on, literally.
Exactly.
Then it was like, you know, we had to have a, I need to wash that man out of my hair moment.
Wait, you gotta pause.
Yes.
Wash that.
Like we not gonna have this moment where I am everything that you want me to be, but I am not embracing myself. And it was so funny because it started with a vacation, and my middle son was like, yeah, it'll be really real when you go to work that way. Like, he's like, you can be whoever you want to be on the weekend, you know, and everybody love you, but on Monday, are you gonna
exactly?
Oh, you
so I took that as a challenge. I'm not sure if he didn't challenge me whether I would have kept on going. But I embraced my natural hair, And, you know, Nikita is one of those ones as I was, what we say, training my hair. So under these braids, there are curls and they, honey, they do fabulous things. And I used to have to twist my hair every day. And we would be at, you know, drama practice or choir rehearsal.
Mid-conversation.
This is my way of letting you know I love you. Because if you see me with some twists in my hair, I'm the cutest. You know, I could rock it now, but you know, when you in the beginning, they don't always look and lay so nice. And so, you know, I've had days where my sisters came in and they helped with the twists and the curls. But again, I would let people know that's how you know I love you. Because if I don't care how you see me, that means that I know that there's love really there. And I'm not trying to just put on airs in the front for you. And that takes us back to that keeping it real. And I mean, I love it. It took probably about 2 years for me to train my hair that it doesn't even matter, like literally the wet it, all different types of product, you name it, I've paid for it, I've wasted the money, but the curls do what they need to do, because for every day for 2 years, whether me or with the help of close sister friends, this hair got twisted every single day. And so it is literally a pattern for life. And people are like, how you get them curls? Well, if you got 2 years, you know, every day, I can tell you how. You know, people exactly. Like, I can yes, you can, but you got to train it. And so, you know, there's a lot of things, and I've been in it. It took me the longest time to embrace just being happy and comfortable, because it was my hair. I would wear it on a weekend, you know, going out, and people would see with different hairstyles. You might see my hair, you might see a wig, you might see some other protective style. But then it was like, okay, this is how we need to present ourselves to the world. But there still was a little hesitation, because I go into a lot of boardrooms and corporate settings that some of the folks, they still not ready. But we're gonna get with our conversation today. So we're
no,
gonna...
it's true. I want to give a shout out to Shelby. You guys look at the comments. You see Shelby and Val.
I'm chatting.
Say hello to you ladies. We know you're here connecting with us. I have been natural 20 years. I've been natural, maybe a little bit more. And it wasn't like I relaxed my hair, you know, like most of us did. And I got tired of relaxing my hair on a regular basis, right? That's what did it for me. I was like, you know, I'm tired of being a slave to this relaxer. So I did protective styles. And then I eventually just, you know, didn't even do that. I would just wear my hair natural. And let me just say, I wear my hair in a bun, just like it is now. When it was loose natural, I would do this most of the time. You ladies know this. But, you know, and I don't think they make a gel that can slick.
Can we talk about these edges?
We're not talking about the gel. I don't know.
The edges be snatched, you
They
know.
be snatched for like 5 minutes.
That part. You got to wrap it with the stocking cap. And okay, never mind.
Satin scarf.
Girl. I carry y'all remember seeing my small wave brush when I feel the edges pop up? I just pull it out mid-convo and just lay them back down. My hair has a name. My fro has a name. I call her Fufu. Okay, so Fufu be acting up and she's unruly, and she tells me when she needs to be laid down for a nap.
Oh my!
Okay,
I love
which is what this is about. I put Fufu down for a long winter's nap because she does not like the cold. Okay.
I can't. You're killing me. About 8 years ago, I made the decision to lock my hair, and there was so much emotion and anxiety that went into that decision. And it was years in the making. So I was admiring other people with locks for years, like 10 years prior. And I was like, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that to my hair. Not really making the corporate hair, black hair thing connection at that time. I'm just admiring a style. Mm-hmm. But when I decided to lock my hair, I was like, oh, okay. So I got to go to work with locks in my hair. I'm walking into, like you said, Karen, I'm walking into boardrooms, I'm managing teams, and I got these locks. How am I going to be treated? How are people going to look at me? Are they going to take me seriously? You know, all of these things went through my, because of my hair, right? Like all these things went through my hair. I'm thinking, if I were to go on a job interview, let's say I'm deciding to change my job and I go on a job interview, am I going to get the job because of my hair? Will they not give me the job because of my hair? And I came to a place, so it was a journey, one, just locking my hair, and it was a journey coming to that decision to lock my hair, because I'm thinking, I have to embrace me. This is me and my natural self. I need to embrace that. And I need to not care about what other people think. And I was caring about what other people thought. You know, I was, but when I got to that point, I'm like, okay, this is me. I'm going to lock my hair. And if people have prejudices, if they think that, you know, my hair smells because I got locks, that's on you. If whatever you think, it's on you, that's not on me. And if I'm going to a job interview and no one wants to hire me because of my hair, if that's a factor in the decision making, or in a decision making factor, then that's not the job for me. Period. That's just not the job.
One of the challenges that I had when I moved from up north to down south, I wasn't sure. And so we went to go see my good friend and hairstylist at the time, Aisha. And, you know, it was like, okay, we doing some silk press. I got an Albie chair. I was like, listen, I need this to last a couple of weeks because I don't know who I'm going to meet down here when I get here. So let's straighten these curls out and see what it's going to be. And thankfully, you know, it wasn't that I didn't have to sort of educate, because some people had been used to like the full disclosure of, oh, this is a wig, this is this. And we had to remind people, as we've already said, not to pet us. But sometimes we got to remind our skin folk not to pet us either. Like, you know the rules, violation, like we got on the play. Why are you over here touching me like this? For permission, all of that stuff. So it really was an interesting thing. And I've had that comment from other people. They came with their protective styles for their job interview, and they see me as a director with natural hair, and they like, oh snap, it's on and popping now. Like, they are so joyous to see that they could bring all of themselves. And that's kind of what I say about the code switching for the hair, because if we don't know where it is, like, I know people who have had the issue of not being hired because of somebody's personal bias.
Yes.
And they don't look professional. That's not what I want to look for the front door. I don't think that, you know, the attitude matches what the hair looks like. Like, I've heard it all. I've been a hiring manager for 15 years. And sometimes I had to remind myself, don't roll your eyes up in your head, because they may get stuck there from some of the comments that we've heard from people on why not to hire somebody connected to their hair. So this hair code switching is a thing. And a lot of people would come in with, you know, very sleek, slick styles. And then within the first month, it's like, oh, so this is who you really are. But we have to be safe. And some of us, you know, I think that it came to a point where the more that I did it, the more I became comfortable with, well, baby, this is who I'm showing up as. So you either gonna take all of Karen, or you gonna be in the corner, because nobody puts baby in the corner. So
and you will be in the corner. No one can put Karen in the corner. And I'm looking at our comments right now.
Yep.
And again, I want to, me personally, and on behalf of all of us, thank you all so much for joining us. I want to give a shout out to LaRonda. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah. We got Michelle Lockhart. Hey, Miss Shelby, how you doing?
Hey,
we see you, girl. And Shelby made a comment here that I think is appropriate for the three of us to address.
Yes.
In response to our dialogue, Shelby posted in the comments, the funny thing is, we put more pressure on ourselves.
So true.
Than others do. And I would really like to take the time to address where that could be stemming from within us each individually. I know I have a story to tell.
I think it definitely comes from television, radio, social media, Facebook, your grandparents, your mother, you know, your grandmother putting the grease on the comb on the stove in the kitchen. You know what I'm talking about. We don't know, got the little burns. Right? All those subliminal messages that what you have naturally is not good enough and it needs to be changed, right? It needs to be managed. Or you have the good hair, so yours doesn't have to be managed, right? So it's been ingrained in us from once we were younger, from both our own friends and family and our Caucasians. Like you look at your Caucasians and you're like friends and you're like, well, you know, their hair is straight. I called it wash and wear hair at one point. I'm like, my hair doesn't do that. I need to do a lot when I wash.
Put in work.
It's an event when I wash. This is truly an event, but it's been tough because besides letting go of what other people think of us, which is that pressure, that exterior pressure, it's more the internal pressure and being happy with what you see in the mirror, because that's not easy, right? So thanks, Shelby, for bringing that up, because
Absolutely.
It's so true. We definitely put more pressure on ourselves. I remember the first time I looked at myself natural, you know, with nothing, and I was like, I don't even like the way I look. It took a while for me to be comfortable not looking at myself with straight hair or, you know, with a doobie.
With the swoop.
It takes some getting used to, because like you said, we've been culturized in that way to say what is good. And you know, when we think about even the media, Napoli Ever After, Chris Rock and his, you know, documentary on good. Even India Ari with her "I am not my hair" type statement, where it was like we all had to get there. And one of the challenges, and I think the most beautiful part of our hair journey, is maybe all of us didn't go natural. I know a couple of people who they went natural and said, never mind, I need my creamy crack, I gotta go back.
It's not easy.
It is not, but it's all about kind of understanding that our journey and our hair is very personal. Like whatever you feel about it, it is what you're feeling about it. So even you talking about putting pressure on ourselves, we got to relieve ourselves from, you know, people are going to think what they want to think. And if they're not thinking something about our hair, if they're petty, something else. They're going to find something else. So it's like, okay,
Nikita.
Girl.
is the immediate thing, but it might be something else. So, okay, this is what's going to be on the table. So if you think me walking into a place with either braids or, you know, I wear my flower often, this is something personal to me of what this flower means. Now, somebody asks me, I'll tell them, but a lot of people don't ask me, so then they're not going to know. But if you ask me, we'll have a conversation. Like, why this flower up in my hair? Some people just see it as me being extra. That's your prerogative as well. But guess who coming in the door with the flower in her hair? Me.
That girl.
When you see me on these Zooms, be like, okay, with that beautiful flower. I got them in all colors. You don't
all the shades.
I got purple and brown and gold. And anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it's about embracing, who do I walk into a room as? And right now, because our entire lives are basically via video, it's who are you showing up through this little square that they see, you know, your face in. And that takes some boldness. It takes also you knowing who you are, because you can't expect somebody to respect a version of yourself that you haven't accepted in
Exactly.
It's interesting. You know, I'm looking at the comment, and you know, as Karen was speaking, I had told y'all I got a story to tell. Our sister Valerie Martin Higginbottom posted here that she just had this conversation with her mother. Yep. And it's sort of sad that she, at her age, is not comfortable with her short natural hair. And that's what gave me a complex, pretty much, from when I first did the big chop myself. I went to go visit my grandmother. Okay, family. And she saw my hair, and I don't want to get us flagged by Facebook. So I'm gonna try and abbreviate what grandma said to me. Hold on. She said, "You got hair like them N-words.
No.
Yes, way, girl. She called me a racial slur as her own African American baby, grandbaby, first granddaughter at that, because I had made the decision to start wearing my hair the way the creator designed it.
It's sad.
In my scripture studies, all I know is everything that God created, he called good. So that meant that my hair was good, and it wasn't necessary for me to burn my hair out in order to impress people who didn't matter, pretty much. So you all know when I, wash the man right out of my hair, you all observed me rocking my TWA for years, and you all know my coils stay popping because I learned the trade. Okay, I learned the tricks and the tips on how to make my hair do what I needed to do. So overcoming the direct assaults on your self-esteem, that are basically carried to you by the arrows, shot your way by your family members. That in itself, when you hear it, or at least that was my experience. But thank God I was at a place in my life where I was like, it don't matter what you say, I like what I see when I look in the mirror, and it doesn't matter. I'm beautiful, straight hair or not, twist or not. And which is another reason why you all have never seen me wear straight weave. I try, and even when I wear a protective style, I do wear the styles that are reflective of my culture. And shout out to you, Audrey, because I want to lock my hair, but I like to play in my fro too much. So I figured anytime I want some locks, I will just go buy them and have them installed.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know what?
You are our lock hero. It's like, if I could just, be committed a little.
I'm not that. I ain't there yet.
Almost 8 years. Can you believe it? Almost 8.
Wow.
Yeah, but listen, I want to go back to something that Danielle put in the comments. And we were talking about, of course, our natural hair. And she said that she said, I definitely put pressure on myself when I had my locks. I felt like everybody was judging me, but that wasn't really the case. And I wanted to just make a comment to that because people were probably judging you, Danielle, because that's what people do, right? And that's why going on this journey, it's a lot of introspection that happens, because you have to be, like Nikita said, you have to be strong enough to take those arrows from wherever they come, right? From your friends, family, strangers, or whatever, and be comfortable in your own skin, be comfortable with your own hair. And they are judging you. And if you feel that way, they probably are, but you have to get to the point where it doesn't bother you. And that's a place of freedom. That's a place of liberation. This is the way God created us all, right?
That's a great point. I think one of the things that really, continues to resonate with me, I have 3 granddaughters and all of their hair grade is all over the place. And we got some that they like the braids, other they will fight you better than you doing their hair. And it's like, don't you want to look pretty? No, like, our parents told us that, and we were like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and let you burn me in the for the cost of looking pretty. But as we grew our definitions, our young girls, because we've got the Jill Scotts and because we've got the Nikitas and the Audreys and the Karens, when they come into not just the boardroom, but what they see is what they will aspire to. And so the more we get to embrace who we are, and not just even, I don't want to minimize it, but it is sometimes embracing our Blackness, but it's also just embracing your full identity, because not all,
absolutely,
one thing, do your ancestry.com and you'll find we are all mixed with something, and they mix with us too. So we're going to put that out there. But with all of those things, it still is, how do we allow our young girls as well as the young men? Because a lot of this stuff, like, maybe it was a year ago or a year and a half when we would go out and see different sporting events where it was a young man who was wrestling in high school, and they cut his locks because they said that that was some type of violation. Now imagine, like, it couldn't have been my child. God is merciful. Those involved, you gonna cut my baby's hair. Like, these are not just normal things. You know, when you're thinking about raising your children and what you want them to be proud and be able to stand up about, and then they go into places that say you're not enough because of your hair. Like, we take this conversation on a whole nother level. Y'all cut my baby's hair, we're gonna be on CNN and Fox and and who else? We're gonna make up some new channels for
Let me put my stuff back on.
Mimi, you cut my baby's hair. But this was this young man's identity, and to have that not just on display, but to be more than judged, because there was a verdict that happened. So somebody judging us, like, we may or may not know, like you said, Audrey, they are judging us, but they probably won't say anything to us.
Correct.
May not be sure of our response. But this young man got a verdict that said, you're not good enough and we will change you. We will change you. And so imagine what that did to him and many others. And there's so much scholarly information to try to educate and change people's minds about the Crown Act, what it means for us to go to work and show up in the way that, you know, hair is going out of our head, and whether we judge when we see celebrities. You know, yes, there's certain rules and regulations that certain jobs may have. So unless you Jay-Z and closing out them deals, y'all figure out how you want to show up, but be okay with it. Not so much that there's an explanation needed, but be okay with somebody is going to misunderstand when you walk into the room, and that's not your job to convince them otherwise. So if they decide, I don't want to hire this man because of his hair, guess what? That wasn't the place for you. And the way that I know, you know, we all are women of faith, the way that God works in our life, guess what? The next job gonna have an extra 0 on it because we move in that amount of faith. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, I you know, again, I appreciate the fact that you all even put my name in the name of Trailblazers and Natural Hair Game out here. But I am grateful to have had a lot of influence on young women who have made the decision to go ahead and rock their natural hair. I give personal hair consultations. I ask permission to touch their hair to help them determine their hair type. Because a lot of people don't even realize that there's different curl patterns and curl types. And with each curl pattern, it requires a different type of care. What works for me may not work for someone else. So in my journey, I found that there has not been, until recently, okay, I finally found one product that really takes care of all these edges and all these curls and waves. You know, but we'll talk about that. Inbox me if y'all want that intel. Okay?
I had so I want to touch on 2 things. One is, Karen, you mentioned the Crown Act, and for those who are watching who don't know what the Crown Act it is a piece of legislature that was presented at the House and passed, which makes discriminating against natural hair illegal. So it actually has passed in 7 different states. It's already law in 7 different states. And once it passes the Senate, it will be law at the federal level, which is awesome. It's kind of sad that, you know, that even needs to happen, but okay. So CROWN stands for, I just want to say, is creating respectful and open world for natural hair, is what CROWN stands for. Just a little bit of education for everybody. The other thing I wanted to mention was, there was Z, my girlfriend in the chat. She talked about being able to manage her hair, and the status about now you're going natural. Okay, so now we've made the transition from straight to natural. What do you do now? And that's a real thing. I remember when I took my protective style out and I was dealing with my natural hair and I washed it. I didn't have the right tool. Like I didn't have the wide tooth comb. I didn't have the right conditioner. I didn't have the softener. I didn't have those things, right? The big hard brush. I didn't have any of those things. So, you know, it's important that we are there to support our sisters that go natural so that they learn. I had to relearn how to do my hair again because I was no longer going to, I made a decision I wasn't going to relax it anymore. And like you said, Nikita, everyone's different. Everyone's hair is different. Their pattern is different. So the products I use on my hair may not be the best products for y'all. Although I do got a gel that'll slick those edges down for like maybe 10 minutes. But
Thank you for that screenshot, girl. I'm looking into
anybody want
that.
to know? Hit me up later. I'll give you.
Because I'm tired of seeing these edge control advertisements all over the gram where they put it on and 3 seconds later you move it and it's just there. It ain't moving. I need something that can, you know, I live in Jersey and the humidity is beast. And hey, humidity is kryptonite to these edges, and any form of edge control I've tried to date. I see that your girlfriend Z asked a question. In the comments, she asked, what do you do to keep your hair moisturized? One trick that I utilize is this. Y'all ready? I'm gonna give y'all one of my secrets. Y'all ready?
Okay.
That's it. I promise. How do you hydrate your
we bringing props now?
with water? With water. With water.
No, I've noticed when I started to pay attention to how I hydrated my body from the inside out, it had a direct effect on my hair. So I had to, from the root, moisturize.
So true.
That is
And I noticed that when my body is physically dehydrated, foo-foo acts all the way up.
Foo-foo.
So I pay keen attention to how much water I intake every single day, because it doesn't only affect my hair, but everything else, all my other natural body systems. Dehydration will basically send every single process into a traffic jam, so to speak. So Z, this is my tip to start. Hydration from the inside out. And again, when you know that you're out there and you choose to go ahead and silken your natural hair to wear a straight style, protective products to seal your hair. Even what you do to prepare it to be straightened is key. Moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Again, I can give you some of my personal tips. If you want to hear it, feel free to hit my inbox. I really don't use a whole lot anymore because I've learned my hair. All right, did we lose our moderator?
No, I think she's just behind the scenes. So just
okay.
You know, as Kita Tilted Halo mentioned, you know, drinking the water, but it also is connected to your diet and your stress level. If you are starting to lose your hair, you want to kind of calculate what stress is around you, because that affects how your hair reacts, what you were eating. You know, a lot of times it's like, well, what do I need to put in my hair? It's not it. It starts about what you're putting in your body, because when your body is happy, honey, your hair flows, big hair don't care. You will find that less of a hassle, because a lot of the products are created to allow your hair to do a particular thing. So you may use one thing when you want your hair to look a little bit more wavy, and you use something else when you want it to scrunch up in curls. And so you've got a lot of different things that will give your hair effect. Making sure that your diet is what it needs to be. And I'm saying I'm losing it when I comb it due to not enough. Well, I will say this. I don't always, your fingers work too.
Finger detangling is a favorite
thing detangling, and it is less stress on your hair because those combs are literally made to snatch your wig. So
or they call them rakes for a reason.
That part. So when you go outside and you rake the ground, listen, you're going to pull some things back. That's kind of what that comb does. So be kind and gentle to your hair. Find some detanglers and understand that if you are using products, some things are going to work. Like I have a twin sister. Our hair is nothing alike at all. And she was
Really?
she's like, my hair don't do what her hair does. But then I also remind her, like, I trained my hair for years. So
Yeah.
now it's sort of automatic that it doesn't matter whether I'm following Tracy Ellis Ross or if I'm following Gabrielle Union. Like everybody got a hair product now because they know we're in the house trying to figure out what to do with these froze. But sometimes it is just going back to, like we said, make sure that you are eating the right things. Everybody's hair can't take all of that raking, detangling. Well, I will say this. A lot of that detangling that you will see will be people putting either product to moisturize their hair, but they use their hands to get in there because it is a less harsh way to detangle your hair. Yeah, you're gonna see some hair because understand we shed every day. Combs, you gonna see a whole bunch.
So I just wanted to clear, hey Linda, I see you there in the comments. So my hair is locked. I've been locked for almost 8 years. Nikita is natural. She has braids in. Karen has twists in her hair now. But Karen and Nikita, both of you guys are loose natural. You wear your hair out loose natural sometimes too.
I'll be out next week.
Yeah.
I think I got 2 more weeks, you know, but by the time my birthday comes, it's gonna be all lit.
Because the care, because I was loose natural and now I'm locked and it's different. So the things that you can do with loose natural hair, you can't do those things when you have locks. And so it is slightly different. The things I would use to moisturize my hair are different. Again, it's the individual thing. It took me, I was well into my adult life when I learned that I had an oily scalp, for example. So when you have an oily scalp, the typical grease in your hair that we used to do.
You see me? No.
It doesn't work, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that. My mother didn't know. Like, we didn't know that. So all through the years, I'm going, I'm just washing your hair, greasing your scalp, not realizing that I'm just clogging my pores and doing harm to my hair. So it will take some time for us to learn your hair, your scalp, and everything about you that makes you unique.
And be okay with visiting a natural stylist. Like if I want my hair braided, I can, do a couple of things and I'm going to a braid shop. Same thing if you are looking to, because many of us, so my hair is colored. It's almost time for another round of color. So I'm natural, curly, and colored. And it's a different level of care that needs to happen when you start in extra stuff in your hair. This color that you see down here, that's the color I like my hair down here in these southern states. So, so it requires more me knowing my hair more. It requires me understanding what will my hair do and not being upset with things that it's not gonna do. Like I said, it is the product that will help me manipulate what my hair is. Normally my hair is just out, like literally out. And the curls do what they want to do. Certain days they just, they do. And then other days it'd be like, ooh, we're gonna rock it and see where we go with it. So, when we think about this journey, it is an adventure and we have to have fun with it. We gotta have fun with it because the more that we take it seriously, the more that we will misuse it and be thinking the wrong things about what is beautiful to us. My hair growing outside of my head, I love it. Like I will wake up and be like, ooh, where y'all going? Because my hair be so big that it's leaving the room without me. Like, can y'all wait? So understand that it's about just you being comfortable with where you are and asking for help. Like as we're having these questions right now, we're trying to figure out what things, there are products that work for me that may not work for you. I'm sure many of us has that drawer full or that, dresser full of product that we thought was going to work for us. And we just spent anywhere from $3 to $50 and that's not the ticket. So really be mindful of what is it that you need. It really is. It's, my sons are like, I thought that going natural meant that it was going to be easier.
No.
Somebody told you wrong, because
Yeah.
that is not it. That creamy crap, you know exactly what to do. This hair growing out your hair, you don't know what you're gonna wake up to.
No, it's especially as you age, right?
Oh my goodness.
Did you just what?
Hey, y'all know I'm so transparent, I get on my own nerves, okay?
The gray?
So, you know, I got, you know, like say for instance, my struggle is I don't color as often as I used to because again, my hair is unruly. And it will say, no, girl, that not today. Watch what we do to you to just pay you back for doing the wrong thing to me. But right now, even dealing with gray trying to show up in the edges, and even with the edge control game, I'm trying to tell you, your girl done gave up, okay? And y'all just gonna have to get these disappearing edges. They there. They just invisible. And
one thing that we'll disclose is that all of us have celebrated the entry of the next generation. So whatever.
Yes.
We got 2 generations already running around
behind us. Yes.
AKA grandmamas.
No, I'm grandma. I'm grandma because I'm still too cute.
I am Mimi. I am Mimi, and I think Audrey is trying to rebrand herself.
Coco, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be Coco.
Come through, Coco. I'm here for all of it. Mm-hmm.
So understand the grays are supposed to be showing up, but it just depends on how much we are looking to embrace it right now. Because clearly we try to be creative. We can't even be called grandmothers. So understand we are creatives in all of the areas of our lives. But again, it is fun. It's about what can we do with our hair, because this is a part of who we are. And you know, if we let it stress us out, the rest of us is going to be stressed out too. So we can't let the stuff with the hair. We try things, you know, and if it doesn't work, as Tilted already said, listen, we cut it off and do something else with it. So.
It's going to grow back if you water it right. You know, I sometimes call my hair is a ongoing science project. For real.
I love it.
It's like I'm studying my hair.
Yes, it's true. It's so true.
At all times, like, okay, you like that? Okay, we're gonna keep that going. And when it acts up, we stop and go start from the root to you know, get reacquainted with my tresses. And you all know I got some dense, thick hair underneath these braids.
Your hair is super thick, but it's beautiful.
Thank you. And like I said, she making a debut again next week because I am very intentional about how I care for my hair while I'm wearing it in a protective style. And a lot of us typically tend to neglect our hair. And I'm discovering that every time I go to the braid shop. My stylist often brings people to my chair to have a conversation with me on what they can do to help their hair act right in its natural state. She discovered I really know what I'm talking about. But again, this is a science project. And as part of self-care, I had to embrace every piece of me, every curl in my hair, to know how to respond to it on site. So there's days, you know, where I've worn my hair to work and it was a wonderful twist out. And you know, you're sitting at your desk and you just feel it transforming on you.
I've had those days where, you know, you have, it's like it's looking all cute and you can just feel it growing. It's just like swelling up. That's when I was a loose natural. I wanted to mention Vanessa. Vanessa Lowe says that she's gray. She's gray in front and she's black in the back. Vanessa, me too. Okay. You don't know that. Right now, but I actually, when it comes down to the grays, I like my gray hair. So I go through years where I won't color my hair for like a year or two. And I don't know about y'all, but you know, when you get bored, and when you get bored, you either start rearranging furniture or you start messing with your hair. Right? So I was
getting out of a relationship, wash right out your hair.
Exactly. So I'm like, wait, if I don't do something, I'm gonna cut it, and I don't want to cut it. So then I just color it. So, but I love my gray hair. I love the texture of my gray hair. I embrace it. I just switch up, and right now I'm just not feeling it gray. But
You often hear me say, y'all just gonna have to deal with these edges and which way they present themselves today.
Yeah.
Because it's me, and I love me. And that includes every single one of anyone else's perceived imperfection of me. You know what I'm saying? I embrace it all.
Love it.
And I make it work.
I love it. I like the way you said that about the imperfections of you, right? Because that's what it really is all about. And we've had this amazing conversation, and we've cut up about our hair and products and everything. In and out of the workplace, in schools, there are young students struggling with their hair. I was reading an article in preparation for this, because I remember this article, and it was last year. I read about this young man who was told that he couldn't walk in his graduation because he had locks in his hair. So I don't know if you guys remember that, but and his parents refused to cut his hair. They're like, they had rules at the school. But this was interesting. I was watching a video about this, and his locks were maybe shoulder length. And they had a rule at the school that your hair couldn't be like past your ears, and it had to be above your eyebrows. So he used to wear his hair up all the time. And they told him that he couldn't walk in his graduation because although he wore his hair up all the time, it was, if you wear your hair down, it would go past your neck and it would go past your eyebrows. So it wasn't even the fact that he was doing it. It was, you have the potential to do that, which I thought was totally interesting and insane at the same time. Like, what?
Yeah, they shut the brother down basically before, he violated.
Yeah.
And I really don't like that it was anticipatory retaliation, if that makes any sense. Yeah. He hadn't done anything wrong. They judged him. And I remember reading that article as well. And, I believe he was able to walk after it was all said and done because he wore his hair up.
He wore his hair up, and he was up all along. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Vanessa had a comment about, she says, what about different textures? Any advice on managing that? So Vanessa, do you mean different textures like on your head? Because if that's what you're talking about, I remember going through that when even before I was locking my hair, like it's a little straighter here, it's a little kinkier here at the top, back here, it's doing something.
Live with it. Literally living with it, because if you are doing a natural transition that does not include a big chop, that is usually kind of your hair doing transition. Even if you change your diet, sometimes the nutrients just get to one part versus the other. It could be how you're sleeping. It could be your sheets and what you're sleeping on. So it's so many different things that we never thought of when it was like, we going natural. We signed up to be cute. We signed up to be cute. We didn't sign up for all this
going
work.
Yes, we going
exactly. But it's so many different things that it's hard. And then the question from Z is, how often do you get your hair trimmed? Honestly, it depends on your hair. How quickly does it grow? Are you trying to grow it out some more? So you want to, kind of even some things out so it'll grow better for you. And again, is it something that you're doing at home, or you're going to see a natural stylist to kind of give you some tips and tricks? And understand, down here in North Carolina, honey, girl, they making money on this natural hair situation. It's like $300 an hour. Listen, I will YouTube till my eyeballs fall. Anyway, it's a lot of money to try to figure. Now, there will come a point where it's like, okay, there's nothing else I could do. I really want to get, some additional feedback from somebody. And you do want to pay for good service. So I don't want to knock any of my sisters that are out here trying to educate us and getting us right and tight, but you know, everybody budget is not the same. Some of us is shopping at the beauty supply store, some of us going to Ulta, some of us, you know,
Go to Walmart.
afford the photogenics or whatever else might be going around. So it's different, it's levels to this, child. There's like,
Yes, there is. And hey, y'all, I'm sorry I got to shut the whole. Hey, my baby just stepped in the chat.
all right.
And I'm glad she's here. Because y'all know LJ, y'all know she's my hair crush.
Yes.
If she had the opportunity to share how she made the decision to embrace her natural hair. I used to always talk to her about it because she used to straighten it, and I had to let her do what she needed to do.
Yeah.
But I recall, and she gonna correct me when I get upstairs, y'all, if I tell her business wrong. She told me it was her senior picture. I had done a twist out on her natural for her senior picture. And I remember that year when she got her photo ID, she posted the picture on her Facebook. And she said, "This is the best photo of myself I've ever seen." And it was her with her fluffy hair.
Yeah.
And we began to engage in conversations about her hair. And I wouldn't tell her, go on YouTube, study your hair. And Sister Girl did that. And now she would like to go ahead and get braids, but I'm telling her, her hair is so beautiful. I'm nervous for her because she hasn't had braids in her hair since she was a little girl, because my baby is tender-headed with all that beautiful thick hair.
I wonder where she got it.
She get it from her mama. Damn. But yes, just even being able to see my daughter embrace her own naturality. And, you know, in my place of employment, of course, people didn't realize she was my daughter until because they'd seen her with her hair out at work, which isn't common. And this is the basis of our whole conversation. She's a young woman who's embraced her natural hair, and she sometimes is big, sometimes it's twisted in a cute little style. She be rocking them Bantu knots, y'all. And I'm just trying to be like her when I grow up sometimes, you know? But to hear how people are encouraged by seeing her hair with her being so youthful, she herself has become a trailblazer in her own right, within her own generational structure, to encourage the young women she talks to. Girl, it's okay. You can look like this too. And look, she can do her hair. I'm trying to get her to do mine, but you know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Listen, ladies.
She'll stretch our hands forth this way. That's what we go to.
The right hand that represents power.
I can't. This has been awesome. We are going to wrap this up. This was been just totally amazing. I just wanted to my last parting words, and I'm gonna give you guys some time to give some parting words too. Is just one, we need to support each other, right? Because a lot of women don't have support when they make this transition to natural hair, or when they're hearing these comments with natural hair, either at the workplace, at home, from their friends and family. They may not know how to respond. They take it personally, right? And then it just goes down another whole road. So it's important for us to support each other. And then the other thing is just know that other people, like Nikita said, other women are looking at us, right? So they're looking to see themselves. We're looking to see ourselves everywhere we go. So this is another conversation that when you walk into a room, you do the scan, right? To see who's in there that looks like, that's another conversation.
Yes.
Look for ourselves. And when we see other women of color, period, and then other women of color that are natural, and that's something that we're trying to do, it's absolutely a good thing. So, and just embrace your circle of friends and family that have been down this road, because it is a road. They're taking this journey. It is a journey, but it's pleasant. You're going to feel like quitting sometimes, but just stick it out. So, Nikita,
yes.
parting words, final words.
Parting words again, if y'all want to see my natural hair, if y'all, like I said, it's gonna be out next week, and I'm embracing the length it is now because I have full on fro. Not quite like the girl behind me right now, but I'm on my way there. I do want to give a couple quick shout outs to my fellow natural queens that are not on this panel tonight. I want to give a shout out to Natural D herself, the beautiful songbird. Miss Donnell Lockhart.
Yes.
All right, because this, my daughter painted in tribute to her. We call this
Yes.
channeling our inner Donnell.
Oh,
And I also, yes, y'all know the girl is gifted. It's not just me. And I also want to shout out my fellow fro sister, my curly girl in the workplace, Queen Rhonda Thomas Booth. We are trailblazers in our workplace together. To like, we're here, we're intelligent. We are not our hair.
Love it. Karen?
All right, after that mic drop moment, representation matters. As you embrace who you are in connection with your hair and your personal identity, you also open up the door for other people to be able to celebrate the beauty within themselves. Some of us have been hiding with hair masks versus face masks for a very long time. And now we get an opportunity because we see folks more like us that are able to. And so I want to shout out for every person who is trying to make the decision of which side of the journey you want to go on. So it doesn't matter whether it is the natural hair journey or if you are dedicated for life to the creamy crack. Our hope as Qurled Queens to empower you to make sure that you feel good about the decision you're making concerning your hair and your identity in the places that we occupy. So that's the biggest thing. Shouting out everybody that came on. I saw some names I ain't seen in a while, some brand new faces. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about you later, all of my Twisted Threads family. And for those of you that have decided to show up as unapologetically you, as you embrace your journey, we salute you today.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Nikita. Thanks so much, Karen. Thanks to everybody who decided to join us today. This was an awesome, awesome time. We're just signing off. Have a good night from the Qurled Queens. Goodbye.